Hi, welcome to Living Well with Depression. And this is one woman's story. Here is I'm Gina Greenlee, your host. And the last time I talked about rightful geographic home, how that was a game changer for me. The other, I want to call it a game changer, except I've really been doing it my whole life. So unlike living in my rightful geographic home, that didn't happen until I was in my 40s. But for my whole life, I have been an artist. What I what I hadn't done was have a daily art practice. So in that regard, it was a game changer. So today's share for living well with depression is having a daily art practice. And I noticed in 2014, I think it was 2014 or around then. I don't know. I can research. I'm sure I can research the cultural shift when adult coloring books became a thing, and they still are a thing. It was just a craze, but they still are a thing. Now there's something called sticker books, which I just discovered and I love. So there were coloring book parties and sessions. I remember going to the library. It's one of my favorite places apart from my apartment. And there were, well, it turns out mostly women, but there were some men who get together. It was like there had to be about 30 people in this library conference room who got together and they colored in coloring books. And that struck me, how that became a cultural behavior, and one that I've seen all kinds of people do. There was a gentleman that I knew. He was like in his 60s, and he said, "Oh, if I don't have these coloring books, I can't. This is how I manage my stress," he said. And yeah, and that is why I am sharing daily art practice as, for me, a necessity. So for years, so I'm going to show you in my other playlist, uh, Inspiration Daily, I talk a lot about. I've created and published different videos on my many different art practices. I don't practice them all daily, but I always create something artistically daily. And again, I didn't go to quote art school. Uh, I I I'm an artist because I create art. I actually think of life as art, but that's getting a little too. It's not as concrete as I want to be in this vlog series. So here's an example of some of my daily art practice. Um, I wrote a blog post on my website, and I'll put the link to it in the transcript box. But I call it the art of stripping, as in collage stripping. So I just take these. It's just what do you call it? Recycled 8.5 by 11 sheets, because I'm a writer, and so if I'm working on a manuscript and I'm editing it, I just don't throw that paper out. I recycle it. So I just turned them into strips, and then and then I just collage with random ephemera, much of which comes out of my mailbox in the form of junk mail, which I view as free art supplies. And so I just I just collage. I just collage, baby. So I collage, and then sometimes I will make copies of these or not, but then I'll do various things with them. But this is not digital. This is all hand cut collage from various ephemera. It's deeply relaxing. So artwork, a daily art practice, does so much for one's mental health in general as it relates to depression. There was a if I don't make something every day with my hands, I'm sad. If I'm feeling a little down or a little off center, there are a number of things that I know through my experience and paying attention to myself with intention I need to do to get back to center and to brighten up. And I'm not saying we shouldn't feel our emotions. That's another talk for another time. Pretending that we don't have valleys, that we don't have down days or down times or down moments. I mean, sitting on your emotions, that's not what I'm talking about. But if I'm feeling like, I don't feel like the day is complete yet. It's because I probably haven't made art, and usually that's why I want to start with it. I used to put it at the end of the day. So it's a very full discussion about art as a healing practice, as a way to manage one's mind body connection, as a way to bring it all down, to center and ground ourselves, as a way to reconnect when the world outside of us overwhelms. There's a whole body of scholarship, that global scholarship about the nature of art and healing. There, uh, there are college degree programs on art therapy. I saw an art therapist, an art psychotherapist for many, many years, as well as a cognitive behavioral therapist. And again, it's a deep, complex topic. I will share in the transcript box links that I think will be helpful in sort of understanding the scholarship and the why around it and the context around it. But in really concrete terms, just a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not creative." We're all creative. If you're breathing, you're creative. The act of getting up every day and living life is an act of creation. Know that. And don't trip on, you can't draw, I can't paint, I can't write. People drive me nuts. They talk about, oh, I want to write a book, but I can't spell. I'm like, are you serious? That's what Google's for, man. That didn't even make sense before the internet. Just, people say, look it up in a dictionary. My father used to say, look it up in a dictionary if you don't know how to spell it. I'm like, well, how can I look it up if I don't know how to spell it? You don't have that issue now because Google can read your mind. I mean, for those of us, I've been using Google since the beginning of the day. Back when people were still using Alta Vista, remember that search engine? I was using Google back in 98 or 99 because the search yield was fantastic. And so the algorithms have gotten smarter with use. So oh my God, and I forgot why I got on that point. But artwork, the nature of art and healing, I'm going to share blog posts that I've written about it and just some contextual pieces, but at a very concrete level. If you're curious about something, you don't have to go, just start playing with anything. This is, I play with the crap that comes in my mailbox, which is not crap. It's free art supplies, man. Oh my God. And I'm in a decluttering um, dynamic right now in my house. And really, I don't have any furniture because I don't need any furniture. I mean, I have like one chair, which is what I'm sitting on now. Because my house is a gym, so I just really need more stuff to where I can roll around on the floor, floor mats and yoga blocks. And I have one art table, but I most of what I'm organizing is all of my art practice, my finished products or art in process or art materials. Oh my God, daily art practice. Get you one. If you, that's how it, that's one dynamic that I have. It's one practice of many for living well with depression. Yeah. Have a good day.